Hi Titans, I'm Erin for Titan Talks, and here with me today is Serena, the executive producer from Titan Productions, and that is our club/organization to talk about for today. You may know some of their work. They brought the comedian Adam Grabowski, who was my first official podcast, which was awesome. So I just want to kind of talk about you for a second. Like, how did you get to be the executive producer with this big title?
Wow. You start out at the bottom. I came into Titan Productions 2 years ago as a volunteer. Volunteers go really far in Titan Productions, as I have made it to the top of the top. So you come in as a volunteer, you get to meet all the acts, you get to interact with people. It's a lot of fun, throwing out your own ideas and not really having to take full responsibility for them.
Okay.
I do a lot of really bad brainstorming.
Oh, no.
So I mean,
There's no such thing as bad ideas.
No, that's true. That's why we have a board and we do like brainstorming spider webs on them.
Okay.
And we get some like, I think at one point we had dinosaur chicken nuggets on there for no reason.
Dinosaur chicken nuggets.
Other than the fact that it just came up. And everything goes on the spider web board. Like
Okay.
everything. But after like working, I guess for a semester or a year, I think it was a semester, one of the executives at that time, the executive producer, had left. He graduated. And so, because I had been a diligent volunteer, I was able to go in for an interview, and I ended up getting the job title of the marketing coordinator because I'm graphic design.
Okay.
And it was actually just right at that time when he graduated that I was interviewing that they changed up the positions, because there used to be 6 specific positions with all different titles, and then they changed it to 3 positions with like general staff underneath. So you can be like executive, associate executive, and then marketing coordinator. So I got stuck in marketing coordinator, which isn't really stuck because I love doing marketing stuff, and I got to do all of the flyers and posters and advertising, which is fun and stressful.
Well, it's like it's a part of your major, so you're building like
Yeah,
a resume.
just building my portfolio more, which now that I look back on it, I probably will keep that all in a separate section and none of it will go in my portfolio. But I got a lot of experience and I got to work with like a lot of different people, and working with the previous executive producer, it was very much real world experience, because I would come in and be like, okay, this is what we asked for, this is what I did. And he would look at it and be like, yeah, that's not what I want.
Oh, no.
And I was like, okay, what's wrong with it? And he'd be like, I don't know, but something. Fix it.
It's the font.
It's always the font.
It's always the font.
Always the font.
So, like, you start off as a volunteer, but there's also paid positions, so you have to start off as a volunteer?
You don't have to start out as a volunteer. We do have staff positions where people have just come in, beginning of the school year, they wanted a job, they get hired. That works. I know that a lot of the time, if you do volunteer, and we have, with this last time that we just did hiring, we had like 3 open positions because like lots of people graduated. Mm-hmm. And it helped that of like the 6 or 7 people that applied, one of them was a volunteer for us for a really long time. The other ones weren't, and that person got the position over like some of the other people because we know them, we know how they work, we know how to work with them, and it's less of a risk. Kind of developed into the family. Because when you become a volunteer and you start as a volunteer, you're really like, you're an extended family, like, and we are a family. Aww. We act like a family. We treat each other like a family. Like, I don't know how many times I walk in there, and they're like having like this stupid argument about nothing, and I'm like, okay, guys, knock it off, corners, and they're like, yes, Mom. I'm like, okay, what's going on?
Oh gosh,
but they're crazy.
Good. So it starts off on the spider web.
Starts off on the spider web.
And then you get into contact with whatever, like. With Adam, you got into contact with him.
Yeah, well, we go to NACA every year. It's in November, and that's one of the benefits of being a volunteer, because like even like our staff are the first people that like are chosen to go to NACA, and then volunteers are next on the list. So we do take volunteers to NACA, which is the coolest conference you could ever go to. Because, I mean, imagine, well, first of all, you don't have to pay for it. The school pays for it.
Oh.
So you get to go to, it's a Thursday through Sunday, so it's like 4 days, 3 nights conference where you basically get to go and watch awesome performances and then interact with those people afterwards. So, like, we went to, like, so you go to the conference,
Mm-hmm.
there's educational sessions where you can learn about different things, like how to bring things to your school, how to change things on your campus. We go to a lot, I always go to commuter campus ones where I can go and see how other campuses that have, like, mostly commuter students interact with those students to, like, build up their events. And it's so interesting to see what other students do on their campuses. And then in the afternoon, there's a series of what are, like, showcases and camps. So you go to a showcase, and it's just, like, 15-minute segments of different performers doing different things. So, like, one will come out and it'll be a comedian, and they'll make you laugh until you almost pee yourself. And then the next person will come out and they'll be doing, like, weird chainsaw juggling or something, and you're like, oh my gosh, and then you're scared that you almost pee yourself. And then a band will come out and they'll play so awesome that you'll jump up and down and almost pee yourself. And then you get to go talk to them all afterwards.
And then you'll be like, hey, come to my school.
Yeah.
Make them pee their pants.
It's exactly. You want to bring people to the school that will make them pee their pants. Yes. But it's so cool. You get to, like, you walk in and it's overwhelming, and there's just aisles of booths. It's like a trade show, I guess. And you're, like, walking around, and you can go up to people. They'll have a lot of people give away free things, so you get free things. Who doesn't love free stuff? And, like, musicians, you can, like, talk to them, talk about their ideas, talk about, like, their, like, different people, like, will showcase some stuff, and then you talk to them behind the scenes, and you, like, find out, because they're only showing 15 minutes of what could be, like, an hour and a half performance, and you really get to learn about them as an individual, talk to them about how they do their whatever they do. And there are a lot of interesting ideas. Like, there was a band that performed that I thought they were really good, and we went to talk to them afterwards. I was like, you guys are really awesome. I was, like, talking to them, and they were telling me about how they actually, when they do their shows, part of their profits go towards, like, feeding the hunger. So, like, they do, like, a hunger drive, and I was like, oh, that's really cool. And they're like, yeah, we will even work with, like, on your campus you can do, like, donated products, and you can do, like, a food drive for their concert. And so, like, they'll perform. Idea. I know. I was like, oh, that's so cool. And I was like, I want this to happen. Aww. So I think that's kind of one of the things that I'm working towards. Is, like, when I go and interact with these people, I take their ideas and I build off of them. So, like, at the end of the year, like, I want to do a rooftop concert. I want to do a rooftop concert.
She wants to do a rooftop concert.
Everybody go. Right? Okay, so, like, it would be so awesome.
It would be.
It's really hard to, like, with our security and the fact that we don't really have a stabilized roof for that with, like, a banister, that's not really possible. But there's possibility in doing, like, a rooftop on the garage. It's like a rooftop garage concert. So
it's technically still a roof.
It's still a roof. I mean, yeah, people just walk on it all the time. It's like a regular floor, but it's open on top. So I think that'd be really cool. It's possible that that would be, like, a Riverfest thing. I don't know. I'm crossing my fingers. I'm working on it. It's really difficult to deal with so many different, like, outlets on this campus, because you have to contact this person, and they'll tell you, oh, contact this person, and contact this person. And then it gets back to this person, and you're like
it's like the DMV.
Yes.
Like, go get this form. I can't get that form without you saying yes, but okay.
Yeah, you just go through lots of different places, and then it never ends up where it's a maze. It's a maze talking to people on this campus.
But I mean, in the end, like, what you guys put together, like, kind of amazes me sometimes.
That's what we go for. If you are amazed, and especially because we only have a staff of 6 people, so 6 people do all of this. I mean, and then we have, like, the 2 supervisors, because Nicole is always there with us through the whole thing, and Scott oversees everything, and then tells us what we can and can't do, which is his job.
That has to be his job.
But sometimes that's a little frustrating, because he's just like, safety first, and I'm like, Scott,
we want to do all this stuff. We're crazy college kids.
Exactly. They don't care about safety.
Well, I mean, we did, you guys did in the fall that, I went on it too. The zip line. That was so much. I almost peed my pants. Not gonna lie. She's trying to make us all pee our pants. but I almost peed my pants, and that was fun and safe at the same time.
Liability forms are a big part of that.
It's
You
true.
do not know how many, because I was handing out liability forms. I usually do liability forms when I am working an event and there are liability forms. I always get stuck making sure that everyone fills them out. So every time we bring in like an outside, we call those spectacles. It's a spectacle.
Okay.
We have to go through a campus liability form, but then they always have their own liability form. So you're usually stuck filling out like 2 or 3 pages of liability just to go on this thing.
Yeah, I remember filling out pages, but I didn't care. I was like,
Yeah, no
sign my life away so I can go down this dangerous thing.
It does mention death at least 3 times
I
in
bet
the
it.
liability
I didn't read it. I'm gonna be straight up honest. I was just like, I have to go to class soon, and I want to get on this thing. So
Oh, yeah.
I'm a poor unfortunate soul.
It's okay. I signed one, and then I almost broke my foot.
Oh God! Like
Yeah.
when you came
Like
down.
when I went down, I was wearing boots that day, but they had heels, so like platform. And then as I was going down and I get to the bottom, there was like the rivet in the sidewalk, and the back of my heel caught that.
You're making me
Yeah,
cringe.
it hurt, but it didn't hurt immediately. It like hurt throughout the day, and so like I went to class and I was okay, and then like I got up from my seat partway through class and I was like, oh no. And it was just, from there, it was like a downfall. It was a spiral. And at the end of the night, I had class till 8:30 that night. My friend helped me to my car. Well, helped me to his car and then drove me to my car because I had class in Northside and I was parked in the garage.
Oh my goodness.
And it was my right foot, and I had to drive home with my left foot, which is illegal. I found out.
Only in Indiana.
Yeah, and then I had a friend carry me up the stairs in my apartment.
Oh.
And the next day it was okay. So, like,
Well,
I
that's
survived.
good. See,
but
you
it was-
signed it, so.
I
you're
signed it, and so therefore I can't sue. So
Okay.
I must have been okay.
You had to have been
I had to
okay.
have been okay. My mom thought I broke, like, the main bone running through my foot. And it was bad, but it wasn't like I didn't swell. It was just like kind of purple for a little while, and then it was okay. It was an interesting day, but I survived.
That's good.
You always survive.
You always, even if there's death mentioned in the liability
You
form
always
3
survive.
times, you will survive. Most likely.
Most likely, there's a 98% chance, I think.
Yeah, 98. See? That's pretty high.
Scientific.
It's not 100. It's not 100, but it's 98.
Never hundo.
Alright. So, there's volunteer opportunities, there's paid opportunities, you get to meet all these amazing comedians, musicians, you get to go to conferences and get free stuff. I don't understand, like,
Why people wouldn't want to be part of it?
yeah,
I
like,
don't know.
what's wrong, people? No, I'm just kidding. I love you guys.
I think everyone should be a part of it, and like even if you just want to volunteer for an event, or if like, you have ideas, I think it's so interesting. Like how many people I talk to on the campus, and they're like, "Oh my gosh, we should do this," and they have a great idea. And I'm like, "Do something about it."
Yeah, you guys have an email. Like, I'm sure you wouldn't mind them, like,
Yeah,
emailing you,
I
like,
mean,
hey, let's put an ice skating rink in that courtyard in Northside or something like that.
sounds dangerous.
Dangerous
fun.
and well. Yes, fun.
liability forms.
More liability.
That's probably like a 95% survival rate. Like
Yeah, I'm
not
pretty sure you're not
98.
gonna kill yourself on an ice rink unless there was intent to do it with, like, the skate, if you think about it.
Now
We're getting in a very dark place now, okay?
Security. We have to hire lots of security for that event. But yeah, I mean, so many people have ideas for things, or they like mention things in passing, and I'm like, we are fortunate enough that on this campus, it's small enough that it's not really hard to make your ideas possible.
Right.
Like, yeah, we might have to. You might be like, yes, giant concert on the library roof, looking over the river.
Oh, yes.
That's crazy. That's awesome. We should do it, but we can't.
It's crazy.
Not really. But we can do something kind of similar.
Like, you know what bothers me? Because I've gone to, like, a lot of your guys' events and I've had fun with my friends, is, like, when people say there's nothing to do around here, I'm like,
Yes.
are you guys blind? I'm trying really hard not to bash my viewers, but...
Well, it's kind of true. I mean, like, people are always wondering, like, what is there to do? And, yeah, I know, like, sometimes you're like, that night I work. And then there's not something for, like, another, like, maybe month,
Yeah.
depending. We try to have things about twice a month. If there's not something that's ours, we can tell you something that's happening. I'm in the know of lots of things. I'm going out Saturday. Let's go. The pool is awesome. Actually, speaking of the pool.
Ooh, the pool. This also sounds dangerous.
It's not. It's the Central High apartment complex is in downtown.
Mm-hmm.
The one apartment that was what was the pool, they turned into an apartment. So you like actually like go into the apartment and it's like the actual pool. So you like go down and you can go down to the deep end. And it's like an apartment. It's so cool. And the guy that owns it is really awesome and likes music. And so every couple weeks he brings like music acts into his apartment. And it's just like a donation fee. You don't have to pay, but it's recommended. But when we were at NACA a couple years ago, we met a band there that was really cool, super chill. They played, I want to say like indie folk music. And they're called Tall Heights. And they're actually going to be at the pool.
Oh my gosh.
Tomorrow.
Oh, hey guys, tomorrow. That place.
Yeah. It's donation.
You can't say you have nothing to do.
$12 suggested fee, $10, $5, whatever you bring. I mean, like, it's going to get packed. There are at least like 80-some people confirmed to go. I'm one of them. I will be there. Tall Heights is awesome. But it's really hard picking out music for like a campus with such like a diverse like music taste.
Right.
And we like bring a lot of our local people in. I know like Half Fiction is here almost all the time we have anything that's music. The Tides are also here. But the nice thing is like one's like metal and one's like indie pop. So they're very different. And I know when you guys did the music event, you had both of them as well as what was it, The Beat? And it was like I had so many people come up to me and like say that they just loved how diverse all three of the groups were, which is the thing that we have to do when we're like working on a campus like this. If we were a huge campus, we'd have a bigger following for like a specific genre, so we could bring in like one genre one time, and then we'd have enough money to bring
now you
another
get to
one.
play with all of them because we're so small, so it's nice.
Yeah, so it's really cool.
Good. All right, so we're going to end it there, but I'm going to, at the end of this little podcast, there's going to be information to contact Titan Productions, whether you want to volunteer, whether you're, like, you want to have any crazy, dangerous, fun ideas, like the concert on the roof. It'll be there for you, and until next time, Titans.